Recording. Hi, welcome back to Random Fact Friday. I'm going to go ahead and just start us off with my first random fact that I've learned recently. It's a pretty stupid random fact now that I think about it. But did you know that the Demon Core was actually real?
Yeah.
I I thought it was just a hypothetical.
No, it's like the core of a bomb.
Yeah, no, two
They
people.
just has a teaching thing, and they kept around even after the first fucking guy died.
Yeah, no,
Like,
two people died, and like the first guy who died, it was kind of fucked up because like it was like an accident, like like he didn't realize it was gonna happen from like putting all those was it tungsten blocks around it? Uh,
yeah.
but no, the other guy was fucking stupid because it's like, I wonder what's the best way to keep this fucking uh this fucking core open with. Oh, I know, a screwdriver. That won't backfire at fucking all. And guess what? It fucking fell and it blasted everybody with radiation.
Well, the thing is with the demon core is it's like the it's deadliest. Like, okay, if it's fully closed, it's you don't get much of the radiation. If it's open, the radiation kind of like permeates. But if you like have it just like the second you fully close it, that's when the burst of radiation happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, that was my first random fact.
Uh, do you want to take a quiz on how much you know about radiation and like nuclear physics?
Like right now as part of the random fact.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I guess. I don't really know a whole lot.
Okay.
That's weird. I
On
thought
that.
I thought I did the go kart before, or the golf cart before. Guess I didn't. There was an old lady who lived in a bitch ass shoe.
Okay. Hang on one second.
There's a McDonald's on the Pentagon. Oh, I know.
How many categories for radioactive waste are there?
Is there a multiple choice?
No.
Shit. Uh, I want to say there's at least three.
At least three.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I'm thinking in the mind space of like of what's like.
There is five.
Oh shit. Well, would you like to hear my like reasoning for thinking there was only three?
Sure.
Well, I was thinking like it's like like, how do I put it? Like a beginner, moderate, and then severe sort of thing. Like a level one of like nuke of like radiation. Like level one is like it's easy to take care of. Like you can like just put it in a barrel and let it sit for like a year, and then it becomes less radioactive over time. Uh, Moderate takes a little bit more effort to contain, if that makes sense. Like you need to put it in a barrel and then you need to put the barrel into something else. And then severe is like elephant foot. Like you cannot touch that for a while, and it'll be a long ass time before you can even like think about like moving it. And yes, that is a cat in the background.
Why are you torturing a cat?
My cat's just meowing. Cats meow. Anyway, does it say what the 5 levels are?
No.
Lame.
Okay.
Oh, I guess this isn't like a BuzzFeed quiz, is it?
Is plutonium naturally occurring?
I want to say yes.
No.
Oh shit. Oops. That makes sense.
Uh,
Sorry, I killed a no.
Is uranium a renewable energy?
Uh, I want to say yes.
No. There's a limited amount of uranium on Earth.
Okay. I was thinking like you could like use it over and over again. That's on me.
What percentage of the world's electricity is generated by nuclear?
Uh
2%, 10%, or 20%?
oh, now we're doing multiple fucking choice. Okay, repeat the choices.
What percentage of the world's electricity is generated by nuclear energy? 2%, 10%, or 20%?
Let's see. Well, people have a real hate boner for nuclear energy, but I feel like still a lot of places use it. I want to say 10%.
You are correct.
Yeah, yeah. Because like
Primarily due to France
yeah, because like
and China,
I I
and parts of China.
I kind of blame Fallout specifically for the reason why people are so afraid of like using nuclear power because
I
like
blame Chernobyl,
oh, you blame Chernobyl? Okay, yeah, I also blame Chernobyl, but like
not the TV series, the actual event.
oh yeah. Well, okay. Chernobyl was definitely a problem, but then also Fallout kind of like helps like keep perpetuating like the fear of nuclear fallout and shit like that.
Yeah. Although, and the thing is with Fallout is like the only reason there's so much radiation is just because of bombs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I well
What
I'm
is
one for
the
three.
other name for what is the other common name of nuclear energy?
Oh, are we back to no fucking multiple choice?
No fucking multiple choice.
Bitch. Uh, other common name for nuclear energy. Primary fission.
I
Fusion
mean,
energy
fission is a form of nuclear.
is it's fuck. The cat's driving me insane. Uh
Think of what you split
oh,
to make.
atomic energy. Oh my god.
Yeah, atomic. Correct.
I no, don't say that's correct. You had to lead me. You had to lead me
All right.
like a fucking horse to water, and then I still
What phenomenon is used in nuclear power plants to produce electricity?
uh
Radiology, fission, fusion, radioscopy.
fucking choose. Do you want to be a multiple choice quiz or do you not want to be a multiple choice quiz? God damn it. Repeat the multiple choice options.
Fission, radiology, radioscopy, or fusion?
It's fission, right?
Yes.
Hey.
Because fission is splitting, fusion is creating. We have yet to have stable fusion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that the
Fusion's always 20 years away. That is the joke.
RuPaul will discover cold fusion.
Oh, here's one that makes sense. Yeah, what powers the sun? Fission or fusion?
Uh it's fission, right?
No.
Oh my
I
god.
literally just said it.
Oh my god.
I literally was like, fissions splitting it apart, fusions adding it together.
Well, I didn't every like with the sun, it like suns go super solar and like I almost said Super Saiyan, they
You
like
know the reason a sun goes supernova, right?
is it because too much shit gets added on?
So basically, a star will fuse things together, like elements together, into a higher up until it reaches the point of iron. Because once it fuses iron,
Uh huh.
the because basically fusing two elements together creates more energy up until iron, then you start losing energy.
Ah.
And then when it loses energy, the sun starts eating itself
Uh
like the
huh.
star does. And so it starts collapsing back in on itself and then releases a shit ton of energy all at once.
Oh. Do we know what stage our sun's at?
We're still like pretty early.
So we're like in neon
We're
right
still
now.
doing well no, we're still doing hydrogen into helium.
Oh, thank Christ.
Like we're not the youngest type of star, but yeah, we're pretty young.
You know, I remember when I was how do I put
Sidetrack.
I I remember like what's the word the concept of the sun exploding like being told to me when I was younger. I think Futurama told me about it, and like that terrified me. Even though like like our star collapsing is like eons and eons away. Like by the time the sun is ready to collapse, we'll both be dead and gone. But it's still terrifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the meme of like me as a 10-year old learning that the sun will one day explode.
Hey, what's the next question?
I'm freaking out. Alright, so our best current guess for the age of the sun is 4.56 billion years plus or minus 160,000 years.
Yeah, no, we will be dead, dead and gone. The sun will not kill us. My crippling hemorrhoids will kill me. They might kill you too.
Your hemorrhoids will kill me.
Yeah, they have anthrax in them.
Okay then. In about 6 billion years, the sun will run out of fuel and become a white dwarf.
Damn. And that's when things are gonna start getting toasty on planet Terra.
So currently, we're between stage 4 and 5 of 14 stages.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Because there was the birth and stage 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at like 4.5, and there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 becomes red giant. 11 becomes 11 explodes. 12 white dwarf, and then 13, 14 as white dwarf becomes smaller and smaller.
Actually, you know the thing that freaks me out more
But
is the like isn't NASA always talking about like how like a black hole is moving towards the solar system, or am I crazy?
there's a there's a black hole at the center of our solar system.
Oh, gotcha. Wait, there is?
Yeah, no, it's not a solar system. Our galaxy, there's a center of a black hole. The center of it is a black hole.
Anyway, black holes scare me more than anything because it's just like what happens in there, you know?
There's literally no way to tell
Yeah,
because there's no way to receive information. If even if we sent something into a black hole, there'd be no way to get information back out.
yeah. because
Our
there's
sun will not make a supernova when it explodes. It is not big enough.
oh, will it just like fart real loud?
No, it will go super giant, and then it will send off a bunch of its dusts, and then collapse to a very small white dwarf. It's
Oh,
about the size of us,
oh.
Earth.
White dwarfs don't give off as much energy as a regular sun, right?
I believe they're like much more condensed and cooler.
Gotcha. So what the Earth probably wouldn't like when the sun finally goes out. Well, it would probably be a cold death of Earth then.
Well, if depends on how big the sun gets, because if it goes giant and it's big enough to consume us, then like we.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that got
So
dark.
the lifestyles of typically occur as a molecular cloud condenses into an open cluster of dust and debris that then form a core, which, if it is above 8 m something, its mass,
Uh huh.
um, it becomes a massive star, which is typically blue. Um, and then there's lower mass stars, which are typically yellow or orange,
Uh huh.
like our sun. And then there's even lower mass stars, which aren't technically stars, but they're called brown dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
Brown dwarfs are also interesting as they're they're not technically stars. They produce energy like stars. They're also the we haven't seen a brown dwarf die because apparently their lifespans are as
Fucking big.
old, if not older, than the current universe.
Damn.
Anyway, massive stars turn into red supergiants, which then go supernova in a type 2 supernova, which can then become a supernova remnant, or if you're big enough, become a black hole, like is what's left and like condenses into a black hole. If you're smaller than that, you become a neutron star. And then a neutron star can become a pulsar as well. And then a low mass star can become a red giant, which can then become a white dwarf or a planetary nebula.
Ooh.
And then apparently a white dwarf can become a black dwarf.
Hmm.
Never heard the phrase black dwarf before. What is a black dwarf star?
I wonder if the brown dwarf could help. You said
A black dwarf is a theoretical, yet to be observed stellar remnant that is essentially a white dwarf that is cooled so sufficiently that it no longer permits significant heat or light.
oh, so it's basically a star that has reached black hole potential, but hasn't turned into a black hole.
No.
No, okay, I misread that. Never mind. I was just thinking. But regarding the brown dwarf, I wonder if that what's the word? Uh, so like you remember one of the episodes of Futurama where they basically like get to the end like of time essentially, and they watch the universe like die out, but then a second Big Bang happens, and it shows that the universe is cyclical basically, and like like every time the universe ends, it restarts again. I wonder if a brown dwarf could help prove that. Like what if the brown dwarf is the center of the Big Bang and the reason why we can't you know uh like figure out how long they like how long they keep burning is because they're the last star to go out, but then they're the first star. Am I making sense?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Womp womp.
So basically, how it lines a hypothetical black dwarf forming would be: take the sun. If the once the sun ejects all its layers in a planetary nebula in about 8 billion years, it will become a white dwarf. And then, if uninteracted with by any other like major stellar body over trillions of years, it will cool to the point that no longer emits any light.
Damn.
After that point, the sun will be invisible to the human eye.
That's terrifying.
Um, and thus it will cool into being a black dwarf. Uh, a apparently the estimated time for the sun to do that would be 1 quadrillion years.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
Yeah, so it's no wonder that there's no black dwarfs observed because the universe is only 14.6 billion years.
mm-hmm. How cold do these so like when they like turn into dwarfs and stuff, they get colder. How cold are these like dwarf stars?
Okay, 1 second. A black dwarf may reach as cold as 5 degrees.
Oh, Jesus.
How cold is a white dwarf?
I was just asking because like whenever what's the word?
3,050.
So hypothetically, a place could still survive white dwarf as its star. The living locate like the
Okay, okay. A white dwarf may go as cool, could be 100,000.
Jesus Christ.
How cold is a brown dwarf? 2,200 to 750.
That's still pretty hot.
Yeah. But cooler than a campfire.
Is it?
Yeah.
How hot does a campfire burn?
Campfire can get upwards of 797.
Damn.
So it's like just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit of your love, turn me. Anyway, was there more to that test? I just realized that we kind of.
Yes, we got sidetracked mass.
Okay, okay. What's the next question?
1 second. I was reading more about the brown dwarf. So you could hypothetically just like stand next to a brown dwarf. Although the gravity would probably fuck with you.
I mean, I could probably stand next to a brown dwarf right now if I go out and look for one.
Huh? Elaborate on that?
I mean, what's there to elaborate? If you know, you know.
Do nuclear power plants emit greenhouse gases?
No, no. That's why they're considered green, green energy. Please tell me.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
okay. Thank God. I
Uh, do the majority of nuclear power plants spin generators?
uh I believe so because at the end of the day, all energy is just steam, right?
The vast majority of energy is steam.
Yeah,
Yes. Although there are ways to make it without steam, but yeah,
but yeah,
the vast majority is just all. turbines.
But yeah,
In the turbine.
nuclear power is steam because it's the radiation is heating up water and it turns into steam and right.
Yes. So how the vast majority uh, energy is produced on Earth is man-made energy, at least, is something does something to spin a turbine, and a lot of the time that's steam. Or in the case of hydroelectric dams, they just have the water do it.
Brr.
Uh,
A hydroelectric dam goes brr.
that's the meme of I forget the exact meme of it, but it's like the different ways to produce electricity, and it's just like, wait, you're using the power of the atom to boil steam, to spin a turbine. I'm just burning trees to do it. And it's like hydroelectric. You're you're boiling your water.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you boil your water.
You should probably boil your water. Boil the water.
Boil the water to get clean of your sins. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, the full meme is nuclear. You can use water to cool off hot rocks to make steam. Fossil fuels. Just heat the water with fire to make steam. Geothermal. The earth is hot. Just use that to make steam. Hydroelectric. You guys are boiling the water first?
What's the next question?
Okay, one second. All right. The next one is, what is the white smoke coming out of a nuclear power plant?
It's water vapor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the weird. Once again, that's the whole clean house. That's the whole like clean energy thing going on, like like it's spinning the turbine and it's just giving off water vapor or
Uh, one second. What kind of fuel is used in the majority of nuclear power plants?
uh like what radioactive element?
Yes.
Is it uranium?
Yes.
A we have a surplus of that from. I wonder why we have a surplus of that. Could somebody tell me? Could somebody tell me what event that might have happened in the last 100 years that made a lot of people stockpile uranium? Anybody at all?
It was the invention of radio uranium glass because everyone really likes that, right? Everyone likes the look of it.
I mean, I think uranium glass looks really cool. I just don't. I don't like what it does to my balls.
Well,
It comes to life in the middle of the night, and then the uranium plates just sneak up to my room, and they smash themselves against my balls. You guys saw this?
this is a random fact.
No,
Whatever.
we gotta finish the fucking. We gotta finish the fucking
We
thing.
did. We
Oh,
finished the
that
quiz
was
already.
it. We're really ending on me squashing my balls with uranium plates. Are you fucking shitting me?
Oh,
Okay, bye everyone.
bye.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Factutainment. If this has been released after our last Random Fact Friday, during that Random Fact Friday, Chris gave me a quiz on nuclear energy. Uh, and he was like, "Hey, what if you quiz me on something?" And at first, I wasn't sure what to quiz him on, but then I remembered I went to school for mortuary science for several years. But
Only to and
the
go nowhere with it.
well, I okay. what I wanted to do with mortuary science was more of the science portion, like the embalming and stuff. But at the end of the day, I realized that the funeral homes and stuff is more of a business.
Hell yeah, Boise, Idaho.
What about Boise?
Sorry.
What did Boise, Idaho do?
So Boise, Idaho refused to remove the pride flag, even though the new Republican Idaho state law said to fly pride flags. And they're like, yeah, no, we're going to fly the pride flag. Fuck you.
Fuck yeah. So, we'll be going over some mortuary law questions by on this Quizlet. The creator of this Quizlet is not Caitlin. I think I've used this Quizlet before in the past. I'm not 100% sure though. But there are 79 questions. But we'll rapid fire them. Which of the Okay, so Chris, your first question is which of the following is not subject to the FTC funeral rule? A cemetery that sells caskets, urns, and vaults. A storefront funeral home that sells caskets and urns via catalog and offers funeral services they farm out to other funeral homes and or trade services. A corporate funeral home or a full service funeral home.
Which of these is not subject to the law?
Yes, which of these is not subject to the FTC
Three
funeral
of the
rule?
four were three of the four were uh, funeral homes, so I want to go with the odd one out, which is the cemetery.
You are correct. A cemetery that sells caskets, urns, and vaults. I don't quite remember what the FTC funeral rule is. Let me look it up. Let me also close out of some of these other tags. FTC funeral rule.
Oh
Uh,
my god, there's so much porn.
What is the FTC funeral rule? Under the FTC's funeral rule, consumers have the right to get a general price list from a funeral provider when they ask about funeral arrangements. So basically, all these funeral homes have to give out general price lists if a customer asks for them when they're making funeral arrangements. Next question. Which of the following is not a primary purpose of the FTC funeral rule? A. To make sure the funeral director is reimbursed for services rendered. B. To give consumers the right to select those funeral goods and services which they wish to purchase. C. To prevent misrepresentation and other unfair and deceptive practices in the sale of funeral goods and services. Or D. To provide consumers access to detailed itemized price information prior to purchase decisions.
D.
Uh, the correct answer is A, to make sure the funeral director is reimbursed for services rendered. So, yeah, as previously stated, the FTC rule is to make sure that, um, like basically it's all out on the table for a consumer, like the price of a casket, a price of an urn, just a price of like what is the price, like the items that you are selling to me, what are their prices going to be? So it would make sense for
Hmm,
a funeral director being reimbursed not being part of the rule.
to me.
It's all good. So how many mandatory disclosures are required on the GPL, which GPL stands for general price list?
How many mandatory disclosures?
Yes.
47.
Only 6.
All right.
I can't really give you an answer. Let's see. Uh funeral let's see. Funeral service GPL disclosures. Uh Oh, yeah, okay. So this will probably be a question later, like which ones aren't considered, but the consumer's right to select one of the goods and services desired, which includes embalming, alternative containers for direct cremation, the basic service fee, the cassock price list, and the outer barrel container price list.
Hmm.
Okay, next question. What is considered the cornerstone of the FTC funeral rule?
What is considered to be the cornerstone?
Yes, we've
Uh,
we've
don't eat the bodies.
we've talked about it several times so far.
It's the prices.
Yes, the GPL, the general price list.
Uh,
Uh, how many specific goods and services must be separately itemized on the general purchase list? A general price list.
at least two.
I mean, you're right. Technically, it's 16. 16 total. Those fuck off. I don't want you to access my GPL. Uh, let's see. What is it? Itemized. I'm kind of curious. Once again, I don't remember a whole lot of these. Uh, let's see. Where is it? Well, we won't worry about that right now. Which of the following is not a legitimate reason to charge for embalming?
You had to list the
Oh,
options.
it doesn't give me options.
Why does
Sorry.
it say which of the following?
I don't look. Let's be 100% honest. Do you think people who make the like no offense to it's not Caitlin, uh, but how often does a Quizlet say one thing and it doesn't like make sense?
Hmm,
Uh, so I mean, make a random guess, I guess.
what was the question?
Which of the following is not a legit reason to charge for embalming?
When you're cremating.
Uh, I I suppose that's technically right. So I'll give it to you. The answer that they give is no cooling unit at the funeral home. Uh, so I guess that means it's not a legitimate like having no cooling unit at a funeral home is not a legit reason to charge for embalming. Basically meaning like if a funeral home uh doesn't have a cooling unit and they embalm your like dead relative or whatever, they can't charge you for it. In what year was the FTC funeral rule first put into effect?
What year
Yeah,
was the funeral home put in effect?
what year was the FTC funeral rule put into effect?
1956.
1984.
Damn.
Yeah, and so until semi recently, people were being fucked over by like more often than not uh regarding let's see for choose only these. Yeah, so before the FTC, before 1984, funeral homes could basically like try and bog you down with as much random shit that like like the good mahogany casket along with the good grave liner yada yada yada. Uh why is this a oh true or false? Basically the funeral rule makes it possible for the consumer to choose only those goods and services you want or need and to pay only for those you select, whether you are making arrangements when a death occurs or in advance.
True.
That is correct. Oh, that's a bit of a problem.
But
Sign up and see the remaining cards. It's free.
Well, this has been a
Yeah, this has been this episode. Honestly, this might not be this. I'm gonna be actually. This might not be a separate episode thing. I might tack this onto the end of the Random Fact Friday that we just
all right.
recorded because I think that would be interesting. But yeah. Uh, this has been Random Fact Friday, and we will see you later. Say goodbye.
Bye.